Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, December 9th. We have a couple of mild but wet days here in the Mid-Atlantic region for today and tomorrow. Then a strong cold front will slowly come through the region on Tuesday night. The rain is likely to change over to snow late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and there can be some accumulations over the I-95 corridor region on Wednesday morning. Again, the potential time period for snowfall will be in the wee hours of the morning on Wednesday, all the way into the mid and late morning hours on Wednesday. Again, that's all along the I-95 corridor region. But for today and tomorrow, just mild and wet. Here's a current surface map. High pressure off the eastern seaboard is promoting a southwesterly flow of milder and quite humid air across the Ohio Valley and now into the eastern U.S. A little bit of a wave along the east coast right now, kind of enhancing the rainfall over the last few hours, and maybe a little bit of a break in the action before more rain pushes in from the Ohio Valley. Again, we'll see the radar in a second here, basically moving from west to east. So periods of rain or drizzle today, tonight, and tomorrow into tomorrow evening. And then this cold front arrives. Again, it is a slow mover. There is a very cold air behind it for the northern plains and the upper Midwest for the next few days. It is very likely to cause a changeover from the rain to snow late tomorrow night into Wednesday morning over the I-95 corridor region. And again, there can be some accumulations on Wednesday morning. Well, here's the latest radar loop from Intellicast.com. A couple things to point out. First of all, some rainfall right along the Atlantic seaboard this morning. That's kind of enhancing the precipitation, the rainfall over the next couple of hours. Then there may be a little bit of a gap, still some drizzle possible at times, and then some more rainfall now over the Ohio Valley. Western part of Pennsylvania, West Virginia will continue to move to the east. So really just a wet and mild day as we begin the new work week in the D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor. In the colder air, already snow is falling back across Minnesota and the upper part of Wisconsin. Again, very, very cold air mass for the northern plains and the upper Midwest over the next few days. But for us, lots of rainfall to go through over the next 36 hours or so. And again, late tomorrow night is when the colder air will be arriving and cause a changeover from the rain to snow. Could be some accumulations on Wednesday morning. Well, let's kind of walk through the setup here for the next couple of days. And we talked about upper level energy in Friday's video discussion, possibly enhancing the precipitation behind the slow moving cold frontal system, allowing for the possibility of some accumulating snow late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Certainly still on the table. Let's kind of walk through the upper air forecast maps. This is using last night's 0Z model run by the GFS. And here we are starting the week again with some rainfall in the Mid-Atlantic region. But here's an area of upper level energy to watch over the southwestern U.S. By this evening. And then as the frontal system crosses over the Great Lakes, some of this upper level energy will ride up along that wind flow. And you see this wind flow here, the height pattern here suggests an upper level wind flow from parallel to these height lines from the southwest to the northeast. So the frontal system will end up kind of aligning along this wind flow by tomorrow night. And that's why it's a slow mover. It will not have a big push behind it of winds, and therefore it will be a real slow mover by the time it arrives into the I-95 corridor region tomorrow night. And some of this energy will enhance the precipitation behind the frontal system in the colder air. Now, it's pretty difficult to get snow accumulations in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on the backside of a frontal system. It just doesn't happen all that often, especially not in the middle part of December, which climatologically speaking is not the most favorite time for snow accumulations. It can happen, however. You're kind of threading a needle. Conditions have to be just right. You have just enough colder air coming in to combine with leftover precipitation behind the frontal system to get some snow accumulations. And again, up to a few inches on the table for a Wednesday morning, at least parts of the I-95 corridor region. So let's move forward here. That energy kind of gets strung out, but again, enhances the precipitation for several hours behind the cold frontal system. By the time Wednesday evening rolls by, all that will be to the north and east, and the cold air will really come flooding in. Probably lows near 20 degrees Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, and perhaps only the low to mid 30s for highs on Thursday afternoon in the I-95 corridor. Well, let's now walk through the surface forecast maps. And again, mild, wet is the main weather theme for today and tomorrow, and then a changeover to snow by Wednesday morning. Starting off today, we have that enhanced area along the eastern seaboard with that low pressure area, and then some more rain out across the Ohio Valley. Basically fills in along the I-95 corridor during the midday and afternoon hours. Basically occasional rain or drizzle all day, into the night and into the day on Tuesday. In the colder air, accumulating snow up across the upper part of the Midwest. Then we'll get into the day on Tuesday. Very cold air crossing the Great Lakes. Here's the strong cold frontal system. It will start to slow down, however. Notice here the frontal system is basically oriented southwest to northeast in this isobar pattern by tomorrow morning. That will become pretty well aligned with that upper level wind flow from the southwest to the northeast, and therefore this frontal system starts to slow down, and all this moisture supported by that upper level energy will kind of hang back behind the surface cold front. And here we go into the evening hours on Tuesday. This is tomorrow evening. Change over to snow across the Tennessee Valley, even in portions of upstate Pennsylvania. Still likely rain in the immediate I-95 corridor region. This is 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Then we get into the overnight hours and a changeover to snow from the northwest to the southeast. It'll occur first in the far northern and western suburbs of the big cities late tomorrow night, and last to the south and east of the urban areas. But even in the big cities, it looks like there'll be some snowfall. Again, this is towards daybreak on Wednesday going into the Wednesday morning hours, and there certainly can be some accumulations even in the big cities of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. We're talking the wee hours of the morning on Wednesday all the way into the mid or late morning hours, maybe a 6-hour period here of snowfall behind the frontal system. And accumulations are on the table. Let's move forward here. As it winds down, it could mix back with some rain midday, early afternoon on Wednesday. Don't be surprised if some rain mixes back in as it lightens up. Just you'll lose that dynamical cooling that happens with strong upward motion towards the end of that system, so it could get a little bit warmer and therefore rain could mix back in, but that should be after maybe a 6-hour period of some snow and some accumulating snow. Then floodgates kind of open up for that cold air to arrive here Wednesday night, and again low temperatures down to near 20 degrees in many areas, perhaps even the teens in some parts of the suburban areas along the I-95 corridor. And then this high pressure area sits on top of us Thursday, but a very cold day. High temperatures doing no better than the low to mid 30s in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. So again, mild and wet today and tomorrow. A changeover to snow late tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, and there can be some accumulating snow on Wednesday morning, even in the big cities of the I-95 corridor region. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Orion.